on YouTube. Today we're walking from old work to old money. Fancy coming along? It's gonna be pretty. Yeah, we've been here before. And we've been here before. The old captain's homes. And here, Strandperle, where my first walk ended. Of course. So today we are picking up where we ended our first walk, and we'll head further west towards the district of Blankenese, which is really where Hamburg's old money sits. So this bad boy right here, it's called Alter Schwede. They found it in 1999 on the riverbed of the Elbe when they were working to deepen it. It's a whopping 1.8 billion years old and it weighs 217 tons. It got dragged here during the Ice Age from southern Scandinavia, hence the name Alter Schwede, Old Swede. They pulled it out of the river with a swimming crane, they placed it on the beach, and they even gave it honorary citizenship. I guess it's safe to say that Alter Schwede is Hamburg's oldest immigrant. We have reached the harbor of Teufelsbrück. And before I tell you the story of this place, I want to find a certain statue. Well, there is supposed to be a little statue here showing the devil and a rabbit. And it's supposed to be quite small. In fact, it's so small that I cannot find it. So I will just have to tell you the story like this. Alright, so the name Teufelsbrück literally means Devil's Bridge. And like all good place names, that comes with a proper legend. Back in the day, centuries ago, this was just a ford across the little river Flodbig. But wagons kept crashing here, broken wheels, spilled cargo, and people started saying, that place is cursed, must be the devil's work. So they got a carpenter to build a proper bridge. And as you do it in these old stories, the guy made a deal with the devil. The devil would help him finish the bridge, and in return, he'd get the soul of the first living being to cross it. Now, on the day of the grand opening, the local pastor from Nienstetten came to bless the bridge and be the first to walk across. But just before he could step on it, a rabbit was startled by the crowd and darted over. First across the bridge, rabbit. So much for the devil's plan. The poor guy was apparently really looking forward to the pastor's soul, and now he's left standing here, holding a rabbit and wondering where it all went wrong. Now the Low German name for Teufelsbrück is Dübelsbrück, and one historian says the name came from a gardener named Dübel who had a plant nursery here. But, I mean, come on, that might be more likely, but I know which story I like better. And right next to Teufelsbrück, the district of Nienstetten begins. This is the kind of place where the hedges are as manicured as the dogs. Statistically, this district has one of the highest average incomes in all of Germany, over 3 times the Hamburg average. You can kind of feel it. There's a calm here. But it's not beachside chill. It's money doesn't yell calm. The villas along Elbchaussee were mostly built by Hamburg's old merchant families. And yet, it doesn't scream luxury. This isn't Beverly Hills. It's that understated North German kind of wealth. Quiet, conservative, discreet, and still somehow very aware that you're not from here. And at the end of our walk, we reach Blankenese. Today, it's one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Hamburg. It has terraced hillside villas, Elbe views, tiny cafes where even the espresso seems to know its upper class. But it wasn't always this way. Blankenese was once a small fishing village. Long before the yacht clubs moved in, people here made a living hauling fish out of the river, not sipping wine next to it. For centuries, it was also home to pilots, the men who knew how to navigate the tricky Elbe currents and guided ships safely into Hamburg's port. A tough, respected job passed down through generations. The real estate boom came much later. Wealthy Hamburgers began building the summer houses here in the 19th century, looking for fresh air and postcard views. Eventually, the rich just never left, and the fishermen quietly disappeared. What remains is the surreal mix. Steep stairways, cobbled alleys, houses that look like they were imported from a Nordic fairy tale, and a view that feels like you're on vacation, even if you're just catching the S-Bahn home. It's beautiful, it's absurdly tidy, and it still carries a quiet echo of the lives that built it, even if those could never afford to live here now. And with this final shot from the former fishing village of Blankenese, I am wrapping up for today. I hope you enjoyed the walk. I did. I'm quite exhausted though, and I'm catching the bus home. See you next time around, and have a wonderful day.
내가 이거만 더